All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack here on the 1010XL podcast platform at 1010XL.com, on their Facebook page, the 1010XL Facebook page, and streaming on the relevant app. Go check it out, the super app. That's what it is, man. You can do podcasts, you can do private communication, pop-up chat rooms, you name it. We've got it. Have your own channel, join other channels, get some great content, including your favorite teams, Jaguar Fanatics, you Jag fans. Go check out the Jaguars Fanatics channel page on Relevant, man. You'll be a lot of like-minded, about 1,000 people there just talking Jaguar football, which I just got done doing on the Jaguars Today show. Today's a special day. Today is my 22nd anniversary to my beautiful bride. I'm a very lucky man. I told her this morning. I tell her all the time, but I tell her every time on our anniversary. Asking you to marry me was the best move I've ever made in my entire life. And trust me, it was after 4 months of dating, and all my friends and family were like, what? Like, what? I always told them, I'd be like, shut up. I know exactly what I'm doing. 22 years later, I was right. So I knew what I was doing then, and I know what I'm doing now. But happy anniversary to my beautiful bride. And we also had a milestone. Our oldest daughter, turned 21 on Monday. So, yeah, do the math. Yeah, exactly. We tried that natural family planning thing from the Catholic Church, and let's just say it worked, so we stopped doing that. And we'd be having 10 kids. I'd have 15 kids by now. Can you imagine all these kids? I'd be poor. I wouldn't be able to afford anything.
You'd be like Philip Rivers.
Exactly. No, exactly right. And he's Catholic, too. I saw him in church once before the San Diego game. I ever tell you that? He was in the pew, like, in front of us. This was a few years back. Massive dude. Like, his hands, like, I got pretty big hands. His hands were like almost a knuckle, like his fingers were almost another knuckle long. I was just like,
that's crazy.
Dang, he is big. And you got to be to grab that big fat ball. You got to have those big hands.
Right.
Most of them do. But anyway, yeah. So there you have it. It's going to be a great day, and we're going to celebrate down at the corner. It's going to be fun. Going to do a little spa up at One Ocean Resort. If you haven't been, you should check it out. Always cool up there in Atlantic Beach. And then we're going to walk down to the Lemon Bar and have a good time. All right, we're almost, less than 2 weeks away from the draft. You know what's crazy is this draft isn't that like impressive, you know, especially if you got the number one pick. It's almost like an omen. You know what I mean? Like there's no clear-cut number one. I personally think I'm taking Evan Neal. I think he could be special. If I don't want to go him, I'm going more upside than Hutchinson. Hutchinson, I think, could be a fine player. I started watching some stuff on him. Now, granted, you know, people are so opinionated about this stuff. Everybody acts like their opinion's the only right one. Look, at the end of the day, I don't care if I'm right. I care if the Jaguars are right. And they haven't been right with a first-round pick in a while. Of course, we still got Trevor to see, Etienne to come back, all that. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, I mean, I just want them to make the right pick. I think you need to beef up the O-line. I think you need a nasty offensive line where you don't have to worry about anything on offense, right? Of course, you still got to make plays. You still got to throw it in the right spot. You still got to, run in the right spot. You got to do all that stuff. But when I have an offensive line that I know is solid, better than solid, top 5, Indianapolis Colts, Dallas Cowboys, San Francisco 49ers, that kind of line, I don't have to worry about things as much as I do when I got a leaky left tackle. I got a leaky right tackle. Okay, now we got to really game plan a little bit different to get the ball out quicker so my quarterback don't get killed. I got to leave a guy in to chip because my guy can't handle him by himself or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? So, to me, you got to beef up that O-line. And, look, I like Neal just because he's massive. And the bigger – and he can move. If he was a plotter that couldn't move, I wouldn't say this. But he's very athletic, especially for a big guy. The bigger, the better they are on the offensive line for me. I want big, nasty, mean, moving, road grading, I'm picking your ass up and throwing you out of the club kind of guys. You know what I mean?
You want a bully.
Yeah, I want a bully. I do. At least on the field, not off, of course, but on the field, I want mass, I want size, and I want attitude. And, of course, the athleticism's got to be there, which they wouldn't be playing in the NFL if it wasn't. So, and I'm okay if they go with Icky out in NC State. That's fine with me, too. And to be honest, look, if they go Hutchinson, I'm going to root for him. I watched some film on him, just highlights and whatnot. And, You know, I saw really good. I don't know if you saw this, Graham. I forget what it was on, but a guy broke down his game really good on video. And I don't watch, and I take it with a grain of salt, but he made some sense. He said the kid first of all, he did all his pros, and the pros were through the roof. Athletic, quick, strong, high motor, good against the run, has some pass rush moves, can get to the QB, decent bend, good in space, can stand up, can go, all this great stuff. And then he went to his arm length, and everyone's probably like, oh, arm length. Okay, but just hear me out for a second. So he was showing how he does similar moves that the Bosa brothers do. There's a, I don't know what they call it, but it's like a double hand swipe. You know what I'm talking about? You know how they do this? They do this to get the hands of the offensive lineman off them. They do this, wrap around, wapa, what have you. Okay? Well, the issue that Aiden Hutchinson sometimes has is he'll get stopped with that because he can't hook his hand around the opposing offensive lineman's arm to not just knock his arms down, but to move them. Because if you don't move him, what does he just do? Knocks him down, gets him back up. Knocks him down, gets him back up. Knocks him down and moves him. Now I'm by him. That makes sense?
Right.
So that is a knock on what Aiden Hutchinson brings to the table. Okay, whatever. Whether you agree with that or not, it just made some sense. The other knock on him is he doesn't have counter moves. And it's probably because of his arms. Now think about this. If I have longer arms, say I've got 35-inch arms and you have 32, and I can stab you quicker than you can stab me, who's going to win? Okay, you knock down my hands, and I can still get them back on you, and I've got the length. Who's going to win? I'm going to win. It's called leverage, call it just being able to. It sounds so stupid. It's not the, where the guy's like swinging underneath, What was that? The Rascals, be like this. No, it's not like that, but you know what I mean? But it does. So, look, I'm okay. If they pick him, hey, man, let's go to work and let's see this kid play some football. I think they're going to go O-line. I do, and I hope they go offensive line.
You think they will go O-line?
I do. Even with Cam.
That's interesting.
Even with Cam. Look, to me, if Cam sticks with the tag, it's the perfect scenario. Play him at left tackle for a year, Neal at left guard, Shatley or whoever else, Scherf, Walker, or Taylor. I love that offensive line. I love it. A year from now, who knows? I don't know. And at this is the thing I think about this year's draft. So nobody's truly a can't miss. Nobody's that special. We can agree on that. We may be wrong. That kid that tore his ACL, Williams out of Alabama, he may be an incredible player. You may take a chance on him in the top 10. I personally.
Jameson Williams is a beast.
He's unbelievable. Man. And he's going to come back from the knee unless, like I mentioned on the show on Jaguars Today, if he's got some structural concerns of his knees. He might be built he might be susceptible to another tear. You know what I mean?
Reports are always fine.
Got to make sure that can't happen again or doesn't happen again. But if he passes that test, you take him. And he may be your superstar of the entire draft. Or Kyle Hamilton, the safety, maybe. You're not taking him number one. He runs a 4.4, you take him. Isn't that crazy? 4.7, nah, he's too slow. 4.4, oh, he's the best player in the draft. The best. I got to have him, That's how it works sometimes, unfortunately. But, look, again, they're the ones that have to get this right. And again, you throw in Okunu, yeah, from NC State. Ekwonu, sorry, Icky. You could play him at guard too. By the way, it's funny, it's not like he's small. He's 6'4", 320. He's a big guy. It's just Evans 6'7", 350. Big difference.
And he's a mean so-and-so,
yeah,
too.
and so is Icky. Icky's got a great demeanor, they say. So hey, look, I agree. And by the way, Cam's got a great demeanor. Cam wants to kick your ass. He does. He's got that fire. And I think Walker does too. Or Taylor, Jawan Taylor, I think he does too. They've got that. They want to do it, but they obviously haven't stepped up to the plate enough. But again, they tag Cam. And here's the thing what people don't know. What are they doing with that tag? Is it a tag and trade? Is it a, hey, we'll work out a deal and then trade? Yeah, I would too.
Shoo,
And then you
give
definitely
me some
take Neal.
compensation. You free up some money. You draft me a lineman first overall and
I'm
replace
okay
him.
with them doing it, Grant, because it's bird in hand. It's smart. It's smart business. All right, because if you don't go Neal or whatever, you got him. And then who knows? Maybe Neal comes in and is your guard, and you love him, and maybe you move him out to right tackle and move Little and Taylor in. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then you're sitting there going, well, now we got a good team. We got a good O-line. Cam's sitting there going, hey, let's re up. I want to stay here. You know what I mean? You don't know. You don't know how it goes. So I like the bird in the hand approach. But if they tagged and traded him, I'm okay with that too. Because here's the thing. All right, let's just go back to Doug Peterson at Philadelphia. You know who his left tackle was? He was in his prime then too. Jason Peters. We don't have a Jason Peters on our team. If Evan Neal's anywhere near Jason Peters, you'd take him if you're Doug Peterson, wouldn't you? Because what do you need? What do you need from that left tackle when I have a star quarterback or any quarterback? What do I need? To not worry about that opposing defensive end or pass rusher harassing my QB all day long. I know this guy's he may get beat once in a while. It's going to happen. But overall, he shuts it down. And I don't have to worry about my QB getting killed from the backside. We don't have that in Cam. We don't. Cam's fine, but he's not that. So if they think Icky or Evan are that, you got to take them.
It's like having an all-pro corner.
Yeah.
It's like having an all-pro corner on defense.
Totally. Oh, changes the whole entire
Changes
defense,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
Same with the left tackle. Baselli, okay, we'll go back to it. We were fortunate. We had Baselli and Leon Searcy, who was really Brunell's blind side because Brunell was lefty. But what a tandem. Are you kidding me? You need it. You need an offensive line that's just call them dominating, call them taking over. And here's the thing about offensive lines, and all my offensive line friends, they set the tone for the entire team. D-line does too, don't get me wrong. Your front seven's very important on how physical and tough you got to be and act and look and all that, and then back it up. But that O-line, when you got a badass O-line, it makes everybody want to go kick somebody's ass. It just does, because they're the biggest, they're the toughest, and you're like, man, I'm glad they're on my freaking team, and I don't got to go after.
I was going to say, when you're offensive lineman, it's hard to see. It's hard to see on TV, but when you're at a game and you're close to the field,
Yep.
when one team has an offensive line that's big for an offensive line, you can tell.
Oh yeah,
you can tell.
Right
Immediately,
away.
right away.
And they get after it. I remember, speaking of which, a couple years ago, maybe 3 years ago, when Green Bay came to Jacksonville. When was that? It was about 3 years ago?
Would have been more than that, I think. That was the game where Hearns got stopped on like 4th and 1.
Did he?
I think I know what you're talking. It was Jalen Ramsey's first game.
Okay. So I remember being on the sidelines with the Jaguar ambassadors, and their two tackles, two massive. Bakari was one of them, who's still there.
Mm-hmm.
And the other guy, he played for a long time. He was, both of them, 6'7", massive. And they were just looking at each other like, let's go kill somebody. Like, let's just
it's time to eat.
Dominate and show how appreciative we are of our QB. That's what you want to know, line, that's their attitude. That's my little brother back there. If you ever had a little brother, I've always been the protector in my group. I like it. I like it. You know, you mess with somebody, I'm coming over and making sure you knock it off. It's just who I am. It's not a big deal. But that's who you want your O-line to be. What? You just did what? What'd you say about my QB? On and off the field. You want those. You want that. They're like your bodyguards, man. They're like your bouncers with you. I want to talk to the QB. Nah, you don't get to. Hot girl comes up. I want to talk to the QB. Sure, honey. What's your name? I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, guys, I want to talk. No, you ain't getting anywhere near him. Well, good luck.
say what you want about him, and most people in these parts can't stand him. But Taylor Lewan, up in Tennessee, a couple years ago, I think it was Richard Sherman. Hit Mariota kind of late.
I remember.
Dude, Taylor Lewan came up to him like he was about to cut his head off, dude. He was mad. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
By the way, our O-line back in the day, Wydell, Baselli, Searcy, Coleman, and either DeMarco, they do the same. All five of them. You were not allowed to hit Mark Brunell late. You were not allowed to push him late. You were not. They would go after you. They go right after you. It was beautiful. And we need that. So I think, I know everyone's saying, and in the whole, you know what turns me off is this safe. That Hutchinson safe pick. I don't want safe. I want special. Safe I take later. You know what I mean? I don't need a safe pick. I need a guy. What do we need on defense? What do we need? We need a pass rusher outside, opposite side of Josh Allen. Number one need, correct?
You need Myles Garrett.
You need Myles Garrett.
You need Joey Bosa,
right.
Nick Bosa.
And he's not that. I don't think. So if I go edge, I'm going Thibodeau, or Thibodeau, however you want to pronounce it.
Because he could maybe be that.
Well, he's a pure pass rusher. And that's what I want. I want a TJ Watt. I want a difference maker coming off that edge. Stand him up. By the way, Hutchinson can stand up. They stood him up a lot at Michigan. It's fine. He's a tall target at 6'6", don't get me wrong. But he can move. But for upside, like, think about this. Hutchinson's ceiling. What would you say? Is it moderate or is it way up here? We don't really truly know until we start seeing him play, but I'm going to say coming out of college, it's moderate. He's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be good. I personally would put about 15 pounds on him and make him a 4-3 D end. Make him a J.J. Watt, not a T.J. Watt. You know, down on the ground, playing the. He's very good against the run, which is good. He's powerful. I'd make him my 4-3 D end. I don't care how many sacks he gets. I want him just to be a stud, run stuff and occasional pass. You get him 6, you know. And here's the thing. Well, Tom, you don't take that number one. I know. That's why I don't. You know what I mean? There's no specialness there for me. It's not like, wow, this kid. Hey, by the way, you don't get extra credit for having a motor. I hear, well, he's got a great motor. What are you talking about? You're supposed to have a good motor. It's like when you're a kid, you finish your plate. You didn't get extra credit. Finish your plate.
The problem with that is,
I'm not that way, by the way, but I remember growing up, like, you finish your plate. Like, okay, you don't get a pat on the back for that one.
I don't disagree with you, but the problem with that is, like, a knock on Thibodeau is that he doesn't have a great motor. That he takes plays off.
Well, guess who takes care of that?
The coach.
And your veterans. Right away. That'll stop. Or it's a bust. And that's the risk you take with Thibodeau. He's either going to be a total stud, everything you want, or because his attitude's going to get in the way and you can't control it, and he's just going to be not very good. I think Doug Peterson and Co. can handle that.
I think they can too.
It's just, look, you want to be a part of something or not? You want the money? Fine, here's the money. Guess what? Don't blow it, because you'll never earn the second contract if you don't put out. You won't. And that's where the big money is for everybody today. It's that second contract. The first one's great. Don't get me wrong. They're fine. They're making plenty of money.
If you're a top pick, it's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good no matter what, relative to the regular person.
But it's not the big money that everybody wants now. And by the way, 3 years from now, it's going to be even more ridiculous. They're going to keep going up and up and up and up and up.
As long as that salary cap number keeps going.
No doubt. Right. And it will, because the TV money's huge. Just think of what the owners are making.
Shoo.
Good for them, baby. Hey, we need billionaires. They're part of the ecosystem, and I'm glad there's some there. I don't want all that worry. It's too much worry. I don't need billions. Just, a little bit of money. Fun money. I just need fun money. Entertainment money.
Some millions might be good.
I like going out. What's that?
Some millions might be good.
A couple millions. All right, that's going to do it here on this edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mack, of course, on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Hey, by the way, new sponsor, Goodfellas Cigar Lounge and Spirits. Really cool place. If you haven't been there, right there on St. John's Bluff Road, 3545 St. John's Bluff Road South, right next to the UPS store. Goodfellas Cigar Lounge and Spirits. They got live entertainment, open all day. Go there, have a cigar, do some work, roll into the nighttime. They got great music, man. Great bands right there. And great cigars. I'm not a cigar smoker, but I like being in that lounge. It reminds me of old school Chicago, and I totally dig it. All right, till next time, stay safe and be cool. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Also streaming on the relevant app, the Super app. Make sure you check it out and download the free download, RELEVNT, no A at the end. And big news happening. We're going to announce it later this month. So until next time, be cool and have a great Easter weekend. Happy Easter and happy Good Friday. Peace.